Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be my second video in 2019, but the vlog that first went up was supposed to be up on New Year's Eve, but we ended up going to a party and it wasn't done uploading or anything like that, so it ended up going up later in the evening on January 1st. So my daughter is debuting herself. She is staring at the viewfinder right now, just loving the camera. But this video is going to be a Q&A. So I've gotten a couple of new subscribers since I've done a Q&A, and I wanted to go ahead and do one just to keep you guys updated on everything, I guess. So first off, my name is Tiffany. I am now legally a Frantz. I got married July 11th of 2018. I was pregnant with my daughter at the time. My daughter, Ella, she was born on September 13th of 2018 at 40 weeks and 2 days, and we did go in to be induced with her. She is now almost 4 months old. Huh, you're almost 4 months old. So I wanted to just go ahead and update everybody on some things. So over on my Facebook group, I had asked for Q&A questions. So if you guys are not on my Facebook group, head over there. I do ask for Q&A questions sometimes. Not all of the time, but there are going to be a couple more questions from previous Q&As that I had asked for. I usually only film them if I get more than a couple of questions from a couple different people. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So first off, Allie Herman asked, do you plan to live in PA forever? I would love to get out of PA. However, I just don't think it's going to happen. I would love to move somewhere where it doesn't snow very much and stuff like that, but there's too many family members and stuff like that. All of my family's in PA, all of Tim's family's in PA, so I don't think we're really going to be leaving PA. Do you plan on getting any pets? So I had asked this I was asked this in a previous Q&A, and I had originally told everyone no, because I am allergic to dogs and cats, and I don't want to have any bunnies or fish or anything like that. I would love to get a fish tank. However, I wouldn't really call those pets. But once she is old enough, probably about 2 years old, I think we are going to get a dog. I love having dogs. I'm allergic to them, and it makes my allergies unbearable sometimes, but I would power through it so she could have a dog. So probably about 2 years, if we are not pregnant with number 2 yet. This way I'm not dealing with a newborn and trying to train a puppy and stuff like that. Then she also asked, do you plan on going back to work when Ella goes to school? And then Ashley and York also asked, how long do you plan to be a stay-at-home mom? So I do plan to go back to work after she is in school. Again, if number 2 is not here or on the way yet. Once we're done having babies and they are all in at least first grade, so they're all in school for the 8 hours out of the day, then I probably will go and find a part-time job that can work around their school schedules and stuff like that. However, right now it's just not possible, and the daycare costs around here would be way too high. It would take all of my salary after I go back to work, unless I work some serious overtime. And Tim makes enough money for us right now, so we don't see a need for me to go back to work. Now, if the time would arise where I would need to go back to work before our babies are all in first grade, I will. I will just leave my kids with my sister-in-law. She lives about 15-20 minutes away. I will have to drive there and back and everything like that. because I can trust my kids with her, and she's the closest member of the family that would take care of my kids for me. And then Ashley in York also asked, how are your sinuses after your surgery? Not good. So I had my surgery, oh my gosh, when was it? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember when I had my surgery, to be honest. I think it was end of October, early November. I could be wrong. I do not remember because I have to take care of her. But whenever my doctor goes in, he puts in these stents, and they're like fishing wire that have steroids that are slowly released over time. And I went in, I think about a week ago, to have them removed, and it was still really inflamed around them, and he could not get them out. They don't have to come out, he just likes to take them out, but he could not get a hold of them because of the inflammation. So, that being said, he thinks I'm going to have to go down to Pittsburgh to get my sinuses done within the year. So he had offered for me to go down to Pittsburgh instead of him doing the surgery the second time just recently. And I opted out of going to Pittsburgh because of her. She was only a couple of months old. She's still only a couple of months old. And I didn't think a trip to Pittsburgh and spending all day down in Pittsburgh with not having her playmat, not having anything but her car seat, a couple of toys that we packed, and her formula and stuff. I feel like she would get very bored. She wouldn't have a place to lay down to go take a nap or anything like that, and it would be during a work day, and my dad would be at work and stuff like that, and she's too little right now to really have me comfortable leaving her with someone at the moment. So, if I do have to get the surgery done again within the year, which he projects it's like a 90% chance that I will go down to Pittsburgh. I will probably leave her with my father. I'll have him take a vacation day or something like that, and we'll probably end up paying him for taking care of her, even though he would love to take care of her. He's already offered, but at the time, it just wasn't right for us to go down to Pittsburgh for it. And then Caitlin Lloyd asked me 12 questions. So, she said, do you ever plan on moving? We would love to get out of this house. This house only has 2 bedrooms, a sunroom, kitchen, and like a living room area. And our little laundry room, pantry room. But I would love to get out of this house. I hate this house. I love the location because we are right on the creek. I don't like this house. It's falling apart. I don't care for it. The only reason we've stayed here this long is because we do not have to pay rent, because this house is owned by my father-in-law, and so he lets us stay here rent-free. We just have to pay utilities and such. So that saves us a lot of money in the long run, and probably once I'm due with number 2 or shortly after number 2 is born, we probably will end up moving to a bigger house, because this bedroom, her nursery, is not big enough for another crib and a whole nother baby's worth of stuff. It's barely big enough for her. So I don't plan to stay here a whole lot longer. And then she asked, do you guys ever argue? Yes, we do. However, I've mellowed out. I used to be the instigator. I used to be the one who always started all the fights, and he would do stupid stuff that would kind of start the fights. But we do argue and stuff like that about how to raise her. But we also we end up coming to an agreement at the end of the night. We never go to bed angry with each other. And then she asked, what makes y'all's marriage work? So, I am the caretaker of the house. I cook, I clean, I take care of her. He goes to work and he comes home and plays with her a little bit. I do get on him a couple of times about helping me with the housework a little bit, because he's at that point, he thinks that since he works about 8 hours a day, depending on the weather, he thinks he shouldn't have to do any housework, which I understand, but it would be nice to get help with a couple of things every once in a while. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. But I kind of bite my tongue about the housework and stuff like that. If you guys ever plan on getting married, I would definitely suggest living with the person, just to get a feel for each other and how it's like living together and stuff like that. Because my one friend, she didn't move in until after she was already married, and they fought and they were divorced a month later. So definitely live together and get a feel for each other, and if you guys love each other enough, it will work out and stuff like that. So she asked, do you guys ever have to deal with crazy exes? So I only have ever had 3, 4 ex-boyfriends that were okay. One of the 4 was only one of the serious ones, and it was only like a 6-month relationship. I have been with my husband now for, well, since 2013, so 5 years, and actually going on 6 years. And he's the longest person I've been in a relationship with, and like I said before, my longest relationship ever was 6 months, so not that long. However, his ex-girlfriends, I don't hear much from her. She was causing a lot of problems in our relationship early on, so we both blocked her on Facebook. I blocked her on Instagram. We blocked her on all social media platforms, and Tim changed his number so that she could not get a hold of him. She had a kid before, and she was telling him it was his. However, we found out recently it was not his kid. Actually, not recently. It was about 3 years ago once we started to block her. It was not his kid and stuff like that, so we just went ahead and just ignored her and blocked her, and we don't hear from any of our exes anymore, so that's a nice thing. Then she asked, are you going to use the name y'all did have picked out for Ella before naming her Ella? No, we are not. The name I was going to name her was going to be Mika, but once we found out she was a girl, and a couple of times after calling her Mika when she was still in my stomach and stuff, it doesn't fit. I don't think we're going to ever use it, because if Austin was a girl, that would have been Austin's name. However, we don't know if Austin was a boy or a girl, so, I mean, that name we kept reserved for our first child, and she is technically our second child, so we're not going to use that name. We do have I have a name picked out. Tim's like, we didn't actually agree on it, but I think he really likes it too, for number 2 if she is a girl. And then she asked, how old are y'all? So I will be 24 on March 15th, and Tim just turned 31. How many siblings do you each have? I have one brother. He is, I think, 18 months exactly older than me. He was born, it might be, I don't even know. I can never do the math. He was born July 15th, and I was born March 15th, 2 years later. So he was 93, and I was 95. So it was to the day. And Tim has 3 other siblings. He has 2 brothers and a sister. He has, the way it goes is it's his older brother Rob, his older sister Vanessa, then Tim, and then his younger brother Michael. Where do you see you and Tim in 5 years? Where would, or would you like to be in 5 years? I would like to be either pregnant or have a newborn, baby number 2. I would like to be out of this house. Hi. Hi. I would like to be out of this house. I would like to have Tim I would like Tim to have a better job, because of the simple fact, because of his pay. Now, his pay is good, and we know how to manage our money, but his hours suck. His pay, it's hard because he works more than he gets paid for, and it frustrates me and him at the same time. So we would like for him to be in a more stable job. I would like to be out of this house and pregnant or recently had baby number 2. And hopefully get my hair bow business to take off and stuff like that. But the way it's looking right now, I don't foresee me getting my bow business out very much. I've been trying to sell my bows and stuff like that, and nobody has been wanting them. And then, how far do you want your YouTube channel to go? I would love my channel to become one of those channels like Ellie and Jared or KK and Baby J and stuff like that. I would love to have a lot of subscribers and start daily vlogging and just all kinds of stuff. I would love to be that kind of a channel. Even Rochelle and Justin. I love all of those channels. I would love for my channel to become a channel like that. I would love to go far with YouTube. And honestly, I would love to make YouTube my career so I wouldn't actually have to go back to work. I could get to stay home with the kids. They could go to school. I could film videos. I could edit. I could upload. I could clean. I could get lunch and stuff going. The kids get home from school and then I can start dinner and stuff like that. So I would love for YouTube to be my career. What made you get into YouTube? So I used to sit and watch pregnancy test videos, and I would be happy for those who got positive tests, and I would feel for those who got negative tests. I wanted to also be a channel that made it to where you don't have to feel like you're the only one suffering through infertility. Infertility sucks. I have unexplained infertility. I was checked for PCOS. I don't have PCOS. Nothing was wrong with my thyroid or anything. Where are you going? TMI, but I never got my period every month unless I was on birth control, and obviously birth control is not going to help you get pregnant. I would not ovulate, which would make me not get my period. So I would have to, I had to take fertility medication just to be able to get pregnant. And they don't know why. They don't know why I don't ovulate like I should. They don't know why I don't get my period like I should. There's no physical signs of anything wrong with me. So I just wanted to start my channel so others knew they're not alone in struggling to get pregnant and the negative test after negative test after negative test and the line eyes that you get and everything like that. She also asked favorite family vloggers to watch. So I watch KK and Baby J, I watch Ellie and Jared, I watch Rochelle and Justin. I just recently started watching OK Baby, since their proposal, since she got engaged. Let's see. I usually watch It's Lex. She has 3 sons, and 2 are twins, and then she has an older son. And who else do I watch? There's a couple more that I can't think of right now. One of the channels that I do watch, she does not have a family, but it is Jazzy Bum. She has Jazzy Bum Vlogs. She has 3 or 4 different channels, I think, that I watch all of them. And I do also watch Shannon Rose. So those are the channels that I usually watch on a daily basis. And then she asked, has Tim always wanted kids as well? He's always wanted, he says 2. When we first got together, I wanted 4 or 5, to be honest. and I've dropped down to 3. I am like dead set on 3 kids. I would love to have 3 kids. Tim is still dead set on 2. So, once number 2 gets here, we will see how we feel once they're a little bit older and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't think he wants to budge, but I want number 3. So it's something we're going to have to talk about come in the future when number 2 is already here and a couple of years old. And then she also asked advice on dealing with in-laws. Stay away. So my mother-in-law used to call me every day, and it would always be at the most inconvenient times. It would be when I was trying to do dishes or cook dinner or get a shower. Like, it was always during the most inconvenient times. And she's stopped that a lot because everyone was flipping out on her because she called all the time. And if you didn't answer, she was calling right back. She wouldn't wait 5 minutes or 10 minutes to call you back. It would go to voicemail, she'd hang up and call right back. So a lot of her kids and everything just got frustrated and kind of got mad and flipped out on her. Like, you need to stop. And so she's mellowed out with that a lot. However, when it comes to Ella, she always, always, always tells me, take care of my granddaughter. Take care of my granddaughter. Make sure you're taking care of my granddaughter like I am. That's why she's still alive. I take good care of her. And it frustrates me. So, the best advice I have for dealing with in-laws, if you have to deal with them, is bite your tongue. Just bite your tongue and things will be okay. And then you can go home and you can bitch about it. You can write a letter to her, put it in an envelope and burn it to relieve stress. You can vent to your husband or whatever. That's pretty much the best advice I have for dealing with your in-laws. Then I asked any last-minute Q&A questions before I started filming this video. And Allie Herman also asked, do you go out often, or are you a homebody person? I love going out. I love getting out of the house. I cannot wait for spring, so her and I can go over town and go for walks, or go up to Meadville and go for walks, or go shopping, or whatever. So, I'm definitely an out kind of person. I hate being home all the time. Whitney Jenkins asked, what do you and your hubby do for fun? So we watch TV and we go out to Denny's. So that's pretty much all we really do. Since having her, that's all we do. Before having her, we would go out. We would go do some shopping. We would go, we would take a day to go and, just go up to, like, a big city like Erie and just go out, get out, take a day off of work, stuff like that. She also asked, where do you go when you go out? I could not get that out. So we either go to Denny's or we go to a Chinese restaurant, which is our favorite in our town. We also sometimes we go to Cracker Barrel, depending on the mood that we're in and stuff like that. Why are you so squirmy? But it's usually either Denny's or a Chinese place. And then she asked, what's your favorite clothes brands for yourself and for Ella? I like shopping at Walmart. I like Walmart clothes. I think a lot of my stuff is Faded Glory. And a lot of the stuff that I wear are t-shirts, tank tops, and yoga pants a lot of the time. For shoes, I love going to Just Fab, shopping online for their boots. Those are my favorite. For her, anything Carter's really. I noticed the in-store, like Carter's location, their clothes are a lot bigger than the Child of Mine by Carter's at Walmart or the Just One You clothes at Target. The Just One You seem to fit a little smaller than true to size. The Child of Mine, which is like what she's wearing, fit true to size, and then the name brand Carter's, I feel like fits bigger. But anything really by Carter's is my favorite for her. Huh. Oh, thanks for drilling all over me. Michaela Ruix, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right. She asked a bunch of questions. She said, if you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with the extra time? I would probably take that time to work on my bows, trying to get my bow business off. I would be able to edit more often, and bend your foot. I'd just probably take that time to work on my bow business, start a web page to sell them and stuff like that. And then she asked, what's your favorite piece of clothing you own/owned? So my favorite pants are yoga pants. They're my ultimate favorite, and I love the comfortableness. I love how comfortable yoga pants are. My favorite shirt, I would have to say, is really any of my maternity shirts. I love my maternity shirts. They're so comfortable. I wear them even post-pregnancy anymore. And then my favorite boots are my burgundy ones that I just got from Just Fab for Christmas, not 2018, but 2017. So I was pretty bummed out once I got them. I wore them once and then found out I was pregnant with her. And I refuse to wear high heels when I'm pregnant, just for safety reasons, in case I would fall or what have you. So I definitely love those boots. I'm looking into getting another pair from Just Fab, but I think I'm going to go to Once Upon a Child and get her some non-fleece sleepers. So I think I'm going to have to hold off on the boots for a little while, but then she asked, what hobby would you get into if the time and money were not an issue? Let's see. Probably sewing. I always loved the home ec classes where I had to sew stuff, or woodworking. I loved my woodworking class. I used to make pens. I made a tray. I made a paper towel holder. I made a puzzle that was in the shape of a boxer that spelled out boxer. I made all kinds of stuff my senior year of high school, and I loved doing the woodworking. I've always loved stuff like that. So those are probably the two things that I would get into. How many more kids do you want? I've already kind of touched on that. I would love to have 2 more. Tim only wants to have 1 more. What would your reaction be if you found out you were having multiples? So this was my fear with her, because a lot of fertility medication makes you have multiples, and I would be over the moon. Really? I would be over the moon excited, but I would also be very terrified. So taking care of her when she was a newborn was very, very rough because of her colic and milk protein allergy. She's on Similac Alimentum, and the whole breastfeeding experience that I had with her, it was not good. So I think having multiples would terrify the ever-living crap out of me. And then she asked, what stores do you like best? I love Once Upon a Child for her, and Carter's, and even Oshkosh, because it's like the same thing as Carter's. Only Oshkosh, I've noticed their sizing is different. So Carter's, you either get newborn, 3 months, 6 month, 9 month, 12 month. However, with Oshkosh, I just ordered some summer stuff for her, and it's 6 to 9 months. It's not 6 or it's not 9, it's 6 to 9. So I feel like I like that a little bit better, but anyways, I'm getting low on my space on my memory card. So she asked, what's your favorite music? I love country music. Do you like dancing and singing? I love to, like, dance around my kitchen, not anything in front of people, really. And singing, I like singing in the car and singing to her, and again, not really in front of anybody, besides my husband and her. She asked me a whole bunch of other ones. Will you ever cloth diaper Ella? No. Our washer is not fit for cloth diapering. I've already talked to my friend Mariah about this. We have to wash our clothes 3 to 4 times before they come clean, so cloth diapers would just be awful. What's your favorite books for Ella? It is the God Bless collection and the Dr. Seuss books. Favorite products for having a baby? Honestly, her mobile for her crib, her pack and play bouncer, and the glider, and the Wubba Nubs. Your favorite postpartum products? The bottle that they give you in the hospital, I used the adult diapers for my postpartum bleeding instead of pads a lot of the time. And the hemorrhoid pads. Those helped so much. Favorite brands for baby stuff, I already answered. Your least favorite products for having a baby is probably the Boppy. I hardly ever use the Boppy. And honestly, there's not much that I have that I don't use. And let me touch on that one a little bit more. The products for her, teether toys she's not really into. She's not really into any toys right at the moment. So toys are pretty much a waste. Other products, I'm like looking around the room. I love our Diaper Genie. Diaper Genie is life right now. I'm trying to think. What are my least favorite products for you? I don't know, to be honest. Dresses are just not practical for babies her age. But other than that, there's not really a lot. But my memory card has 2 minutes left. She's getting cranky and stuff like that. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I enjoy doing Q&As. I'm not sure about her, but here's her cute little face anyways. And we will see you guys all next week. Bye.